It is enough to make retailers sick, including the nation's biggest, whose U.S. CEO, Bill Simon, just told me what shoppers seem to be telling him. You cited, among other things, the effect of the health care law and the uncertainty it's adding to shoppers' prospective angst. How real a threat is that, and how real an impact will that have this holiday?
Well, I think much like business, anytime there's any uncertainty or an extended amount of uncertainty in the economy, it tends to dampen discretionary spending. You know, the Affordable Care Act is just an example of uncertainty. I don't think it's specifically related to that, but more broadly around uncertainty. And as people hear the news that's coming out of Washington about the deficit and the debate around shutdown, and all those bits of information tend to dampen consumer enthusiasm.
You think? And he ain't the only retailer up against the Walmart. Just ask my pal Stuart Varney, who says it's like a cash register contagion. But this is spreading where people are just saying, yep, I have enough angst that I don't know if I'm going to go all out.
I got a small disagreement with Mr. Simon. I don't think it's uncertainty. Everybody knows what's going on here. Everybody knows what's coming down the pike at them. Roughly 100 million people are going to pay more for their health care. They're going to have 50 million people who get it for free or are subsidized. So the government is sucking hundreds of billions of dollars out of that vast middle America and funneling it through the government to this new entitlement. That takes money out of the economy. So the ratio
is the opposite of what the administration's been saying, what you said.
Yes,
it's going to be far more who are paying more than are paying less.
Yes. No, very rough numbers. 100 million pay more. 50 million get it for free or
when you
subsidized.
Say the 100 million, are you including those rolling out next year with the work,
yes,
the big bosses who dumped their plans?
Yes, if this process goes all the way through, we end up with that. Now, most people are going to pay higher premiums. Many, many people are going to pay much higher deductibles, and they know it. There's no uncertainty here. Everybody knows that this is coming down the pike. Right, Adam? What are you going to do? Are you going to get out there and spend money like there's no tomorrow? Spend it freely when you know you're going to get hit?
So you know the cash flow is going to be a problem. You're not going to be flowing like crazy at the mall.
It started already. Millions of people know this already, and it only gets worse as this thing spreads next year, if it goes forward.
You know what I think? I think you're using this as an excuse to tell your family you're going to go cheap on them this year. Because people who don't know you, and we all love you here, you are cheap. So you're looking at this as an excuse not to spend money on them, even though Fox itself has quite a generous plan.
I object to the word cheap. It is
I'm
pejorative.
very sorry.
I, in fact, am thrifty. It is a virtue, Neil, which perhaps you should remember.
Ooh, touche, my final guest.
That was a pathetic attempt to imitate my accent, and you know it.
I think, you know, what people don't realize, as I told you, you're from Brooklyn. And you've just parlayed this British thing in. But no, in all seriousness, what you're saying is that if it's psychological, it's one thing, but this is real. And if you're going to have a few $100s less out a month, that's a few $100s off whatever the average that American spends this Christmas.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it just happened in the last 6 weeks. We know this is happening to us. You know it's coming at you. There's no uncertainty there. That's why the Walmarts of this world are very worried about the holiday shopping season, and rightly so, too.
But, you know, it's going to be a two-tiered shopping season, because on the super high end, those guys are going to do well.
Yes,
places you never frequent, the Cartiers and the Tiffany's.
Certainly not.
But what do you go, like dollar store?
I'm a Walmart guy.
Really?
Absolutely.
All right, God bless you. All right.
Why don't you believe me?
Because I just don't. You just don't strike me as a shopper. By the way, you can catch Stuart Varney and Company is the show. It's a hit show. It's a great show. He's a great person and a very good human being, if not a very cheap human being. If you're on his staff, best you can hope for, maybe hickory cheese log. They all have to share, but that's about as good as it gets. Thank you, my friend.
It's a Christmas cake with a doorstopper, okay?
Fruitcake.
Fruitcake.
Yeah, there you go. I think those emails that you're sending are just between you and your friend. Think again.